Hi, this is Miss Pellegrin, and today we're going to be looking at the TI-30xs. So first of all, you have the calculator guide. This is just very, very basics. We're going to look at this way more in depth in a minute. And you have an answer sheet with a bunch of problems that we're going to do practice. Don't get overwhelmed by it. The practice problems are all plug in stuff to the calculator. So, yes, there's a lot of problems. However, it is not a lot of work. Okay, we're just trying to get used to using the calculator so we can be efficient with it. Okay, the other packet that you have is thick because it is got a lot of information, a lot of problems. Again, don't get overwhelmed. It says do not write on several times across the top, and then on the bottom of all of the other pages except for the first page to remind you not to write on it, because I know it is very tempting, especially when there's a blank there for you that you think that you need to write in there. Okay, but you need to make sure you are always writing in your answer document. We will get to this in a minute though. Okay, so first of all, we have a picture of the calculator, and you are welcome to take as many notes as you want on here. Any extra information, you could draw lines to point, you could color code it, however you would like to do it. Okay, so first of all, we need to know how to turn our calculator on. It isn't on here, but it says on right here, bottom left. And I'm going to press it on. If I notice, I've got a bunch of stuff on the screen. It's because the last time that I used it, I was doing some work. So anytime that you see that, you always want to make sure that you are clearing the memory. That way, any previous person's work is not going to affect yours. Okay, so I had to make a correction to my page. Yours will look better than this, but this says clear and then on, and we have to press those at the same time. So I'm going to press clear, or I can press clear and then on. That's fine too. And it will say memory cleared. Okay, and then I want that screen to go away, so I'm just going to press clear. Okay, and then it's blinking. Okay, we always want to make sure we're turning our calculators off when we're finished with them to conserve battery life. Though we do have some solar power here, we do want to turn them off. So second and off, we'll turn our calculators off because we know we don't get that solar power when we have the case over the top of it. Okay, so let's turn it back on. Okay, when we're dealing with fractions, we have this N over D button, and it is located right here on your calculator. Okay, it's got variables, and our variables are very nifty. We have N for numerator, D for denominator. Okay, and so when I press that button, it looks like a fraction in my calculator, and I can enter in any kind of fraction that I want. Okay. If I wanted to enter a mixed number, then I'm going to press the second key and the ND button. And we didn't talk about the fact that the second key, when we're doing the off, the reason we're pressing second and off or on is because right above on it says off in lime green. Yours might be a different color, okay? But the second button is going to get you to all of the words or characters or symbols that are above the buttons in whatever color it might be. Mine is lime green, okay? And so, if I wanted to enter a mixed number, if I notice right above that ND, I have a U and then an ND. I don't have anything clever for the U to stand for. So if I press, I'm just going to press enter. Enter, it's the simplified version. Press enter. Oh, okay. I'm going to press second and UND. There we go. Okay, and now I have it looking like a mixed number. So I could put 5 and 1/2 in there, and there's my mixed number. If I wanted to switch from that mixed number to an improper fraction, okay, I'm going to press the second key and the X10N button, which X10N doesn't look anything like what we need to, but we press the second button, so it's what's right above it. And if you notice, it says ND, and then it has the little arrows, and then it says UND or U and then N over D. So it's switching back and forth between fractions and mixed numbers and fractions. So I'm going to press that and enter, and I get 11 over 12. Okay. If I wanted to then take that fraction or any fraction and change it to a decimal or a fraction or back and forth, okay, I'm going to press second and table. So if you notice above table, I have F and then some arrows in D for fractions to decimals. Okay, so I'm going to press second and then table. And anytime that I go ahead, if I have an answer right here over on this side, if I start plugging in more numbers or operations, it will use this information, or not numbers, but an operation or a function. It's going to take that answer and it's going to use it to go along with that operation or function. And so press enter and I get 5.5. Okay. Exponents and square roots. So x squared, and look, it's squaring it. It's squaring a variable. So if I press 5 squared and enter, I get 25. If I want to raise to another power, okay, not the squared. The squared is just so common that they make a button for it. But if I wanted to do, say, 5 cubed, I'd do 5, and then I'm going to hit this button, which we call our caret button. Okay, so we're going to press that, and then notice our little box is now nice and small at the top. Okay, and so I can enter the number 3 and 5 to the third power, or 5 cubed, equals 125. Next, second and x squared, okay, to square root a value. So here's my square root that's right above it. So second and x squared gives me that square root, and I can find the square root of 25 is 5. Now, if I wanted to do something other than a square root, for instance, a cube root or a fourth root, okay, it's right above that caret key. Notice there's a little X in front of this squared button. And so I'm going to, actually, I have to press the number in first. 3, and then X. And then it makes your 3 tiny. Or whatever number, if it was a fourth root, you could do a 4. So the cube root of 125 is also 5. Okay, sorry. Okay, so that's it for the very basics. Let's go on to our other sheet. Put that to the side for now. Okay. See a little bit better there. Okay, so first thing it says, I'm just reading directions, following along, clear memory. Okay, so I'm pressing clear and on at the same time. Memory cleared, and then press clear, clear. Simplify. So awesome thing that the calculator does, it will always give you the answer in the simplest form. We're always telling you to simplify. Your calculator will do it for you. Okay. To enter the fraction 6 over 12. So I want 6/12. I know that's not simplified. I can simplify that fraction. And so therefore I need to enter a fraction. So I'm pressing ND. And then notice where that box is blinking. It's blinking at the top. So I'm pressing 6. Now I need to enter 12. So I'm going to press this cursor down. And so now it's blinking at the bottom. And then I'm going to press 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I'm going to press my cursor to the right, because notice it's blinking at the bottom. I don't want to enter any more information at the bottom. So I have to press my cursor to the right and then the enter button. And it gives it to me as 1/2. And so my answer there would be 1/2. In order to enter a mixed number, so now I need the U and the ND, and so that's in lime green above the button. So I need to press the second key. Okay, so second, ND, and I'm entering 3 and 4 28ths. So 3, and then I need to go to the right so I can get over here into this blank box. And I'm gonna press 4. Then I need to go down, so I'm gonna press the cursor down, and then 2, 8, press the cursor to the right, and press the enter button. And that gives me 22/7. So that is it as that mixed number as an improper fraction, and it's in simplest form. Okay, improper fraction in simplest form. In a minute, our next thing will be to change that improper fraction to a mixed number. So we'll do that in a moment. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to do 2 of them with you, number 1 and 2, to make sure you understand, and then you will have some time to do the rest on your own. Okay, so on number 1, I have a normal fraction, so I just need to press ND. Okay, and 15 at the top, press down, 72, then press to the right, equals, or enter, and then 5/24. So that's my answer. I'm not writing it on here. Remember, do not write on here. Okay, so I need to find my answer key. And so number 1, 5/24 is what I'm going to write in here. 5/24. Okay. And then number 2, I've got a mixed number. Okay, so I'm going to press second and then the N/D button to get 4. Need to get to the top, so to the right. 3. Need to go to the bottom, so press down. 63, and then press to the right. Enter. 85/21. Okay. Remember, do not write on that sheet. Write it on your answer sheet. I know it's tempting. It's right there, but please do not write it on that sheet. Okay. Go ahead and pause the video and take the next 4 minutes. You have 4 minutes to complete the rest of those 3 through 9. So you're completing just this section right here, 3 through 9, and then unpause the video to continue. Okay, so now we are looking at improper fractions and mixed numbers. So the first one that we're gonna look at is we're gonna be going from a mixed number to an improper fraction. Okay, so we're gonna just try this one out. So we need a mixed number, so I need to press second and the mixed number. Okay, there we go. And then 3, go to the right to get there. Press 1, go down, press 2, press to the right, that is 3.5, make sure, yep, good. And then I'm gonna press, I did to the right, sorry. And then second, and I'm gonna press that 10, or X10N button so that I can use the stuff at the top. All this stuff comes in, it's showing you what's at the top of that button. Enter, and it gives me 7/12, and that, sorry, 7/2. And that's what it was supposed to change to. That was the improper fraction. Okay, so we'll do number 1 together, and then you'll do 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so second and my ND button, 5 and 8/11, press to the right, enter, and I get 63/11 for number 1. Again, remember that you are, I had a different answer earlier. I was confused a little bit. Making sure 5 and 8/11, 63/11. I did something wrong earlier. Okay, so 63/11. Okay. Did I do number 2 in there with y'all? 4. Yeah, 85 over, yeah, my bad, okay. Making sure, sorry. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, take 2 minutes this time, and do numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this section. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the next section, which is going from a regular fraction to a, or not a regular, an improper fraction to a mixed number. Okay, and so I'm gonna press, actually I'm just gonna clear this, it's bothering me. Okay, so ND, and then 7 over 2, press to the right, equals, oh, I pressed enter before I did anything, so it just gave me the 7 over 2. I needed to follow directions. So I have the 7 over 2. I need to press second, and then the x10 in, and enter, and it'll give me the 3.5 that it should. Okay, so let's practice with number 6. ND, 35 over 2 equals 35 over 2. Okay, remember, do not, oh, never mind. Sorry, made a mistake again. We do this. Second, and the x10 in, because I won't need it to be a mixed number. That was the whole point. 17.5. Okay, so 17.5. Okay. Pause the video, take 2 minutes, and go ahead and do numbers 7, 8, 9, and 10. 7, 8, 9, and 10.